All right, time to install an amplifier. At least the wiring for it. We're getting ready to do the carpeting, and I would like to run the wires down first, so that way we don't have to try to lift it back up in order to run the wires. So my thought is get the wiring, get the remote, the RCAs, and the speaker wires all kind of run to where they're going to go, and then we don't have to try to do that later. You know, I can put it up underneath the transmission hump and tuck all the wires up, make it to where they're all run in a good way instead of just, you know, wherever you could tuck them in. So what we did was we went to a big box store, starts with a W, and got the Skosh install kit and some extra stuff. So we got 50 feet of wiring. I'll let you know if it's enough. This is just a regular speaker wire. It's 14 gauge, so it should be plenty big enough to run everything. Got an amp kit, 680 watts, which I'm sure he's not going to do that in the Volkswagen, but we'll see what it comes with. Comes with instructions. Some twisted RCA cables. Plenty of power wire since it's a Volkswagen. The battery's right next to where the amp's going to go. Ground wire. Zip ties and connectors. And a remote turn-on wire. So basically what we need from this kit today would be these parts right here. So we can actually put this all back, put it in the box so we don't lose it. And that'll be for after carpeting stuff. This should just be twisted wire, 25 feet, which is going to be plenty for this Volkswagen. I'm going to leave one here. So this is when you need to know, do I have a 3-channel output on the head unit or a 2-channel? So with the subwoofer, 90% of the head units are just going to have 2-channel output. Only really high-end have 3-channel, have a subwoofer out. So I don't know what we're going to do. I would hate to not run it and then need it. So we may end up just running it anyways, and then if he ever has a problem with one of the RCAs, he could just swap it out. Because subwoofer is going to be mono anyways, but we'll come to that in a little bit. And then we have speaker wire, and 50 feet should be plenty. We need to run it from the amplifier up to each kick panel area, because that's on a Volkswagen, that's kind of where I would put it, in the kick panel. I like it much better than in the door. When you do speakers in the door, it's kind of just plain to your knee, unless you have separates to where you can mount a tweeter up higher. The audio quality is really shot for that, and you can get a much better center channel, phantom center channel out of putting them in the kick panel, because you could tweak it and make it to where they cross in the center. Rear speakers, that's going to be up to him if he's going to put a board across or little boxes or whatever in the back. Be kind of cool to do like a vintage basket or something like that, and kind of make a like a 2 wicker baskets back there to make it look like you're going to a picnic or something like that, and have speakers in that. I don't know. I know in Jeeps a lot of people do the gas can, so that's kind of goes with the theme of the Jeep. So Volkswagen Bug, Sunday drive picnicking. So we got to run speaker wires basically back to that area and up to the front kick panels. So that's it. This amp kit came with what, 8 gauge? I think it has an 8 gauge and a max fuse. So that'll be plenty. We'll be good. So let's get to wiring. stop talking. Let's get this done. Should I go that way or that way? All right, so I decided to run the power wires on this side. Keep it away from the wiring for the car. I mean, not power wires, the RCAs. Because RCAs pick up noise from other wires, so the more you could be away from those wires, the much better off you are. They've gotten a lot better with the RCAs, with shielded technology and stuff, but you still always run a chance. So I always run it on the opposite side of where automotive wiring is. So I'm just gonna mimic where it is on the other side. There's a little flat spot right here. To me, the more in the corner I can go, the better. But it has to be a decent sized hole, so we'll see how well I can do. Yeah, put padding there. Okay, and that's all I want to do. Little tiny hole. Now I can go on the top side and drill down, and it'll be a lot easier, a lot more controlled. So let's go do that. All right, so I see the hole come through here. It looks about the same as the driver's side. I want to do about the same size, but what I have to do is I have to get the RCAs and see how much room we have. We got to get 2 pairs of these, so basically 4 RCA cables through the hole. So when you put one in, then you have to have, let me put everything in your way first. So when you put one in, you have to have enough room beside it to be able to shove the next one in. And that's tight right there just for 2. And that's with no grommet. So I'm going to go probably all the way in on this one. Now these are my favorite grommets right here, but this won't look the same as the other side, but you know, I don't know. I'm debating on it, but these are just snap in. So these you drill the right size hole. I'm not big enough yet for that one. Should have a 3/4 one in here. It's too small. I guess maybe I didn't go all the way in. Okay, well these just snap in. I'm not going to use those because they don't look the same as the other side. We want to look the same. So from HF, we got a rubber grommet kit. When you're doing automotive, always run rubber grommets. Or just throw them inside the car. They're not always fun to put in. Okay. Hopefully that's big enough to run all our wires. So what we have is these two. And then we got to drop in that. Nope, we got to go next size bigger. I don't think we'll be able to get these in there. That fits, but then when you go for the next set, that's stretching it, so I don't think that'll work. So we got to go next size up. All right, I got to go get a different unibit. Go big or go home. That's it. Keep throwing it inside. I'm very tight to the firewall. Okay, that feels good. All right. So now we can take these. Here, hold that. That one too. And we can run them through. No, what's good is we're right up against the padding, so I'm actually caught on the padding. So when we do the carpeting, it'll be right there. I'll run most of this into the car because I'd rather have the loop back there than up here. Try to keep up here as clean as possible. Now, whenever you're running wires, always leave a service loop. So what I do is I let the RCAs kind of dangle out a little bit, because nothing's worse than trying to work on a radio and you can't get it out of the dash because the wiring's way too tight. Ooh, that's just close, long enough, just close enough. All right. So because these are 25 feeters, little footers, I'm going to go ahead and run it the opposite way. Nope, got to run it the other way. Oh, man. Oh, man. All right, so I got to pull 25 feet of cable through a hole. That one can stay. All right. All right, so pushing this in is not easy, but I think there's barely enough room. I'm hoping I can get this last one in. I figured I'd struggle bus it for a while and then bring you guys in. All right, so that's ran. Now I got to pull all this through. This one's not moving, so it's probably caught. There it goes. So running the 3 RCA cables, basically one's backup if needed, if he doesn't have subwoofer output. The head unit in my Jeep does have subwoofer output. The Alpines all have subwoofer output, at least I think they do. I think my buddy Jeff's did. So some of them have them, and it's nice to have it if you have the feature. So my thought is it would suck to basically have a head unit that does it, but not be able to do it because you don't have the wiring for it. So I'm gonna pull that like that, and pull this one in until it's the same length. Now we still have to run a blue remote wire. Okay. All this will get zip tied up. I'm going to go grab that remote wire and throw it through here. So Volkswagen speaker is just one mono speaker. If you run stock on the right up by the steering wheel on the dash. So I always like doing the kick panels. I think one of the companies sell them, I'm sure it's a thing now. Back in the day I used to just take a masonite, basically a little bit thicker, maybe 1/4 inch MDF, and make my own. So this is not pushing anymore, so I'm going to go pull it. Now when you pull wire, sometimes it's good to tie it off on something so you don't pull too far. But I should be able to push the rest in. And this is going to be the same length as the RCAs. It actually could probably be a little bit shorter because the head unit is going to have wire, and the RCAs are going to plug directly into the head unit usually. And my buddy already says he has a head unit for it. So all right, so that's good. Job well done. Now we can get some zip ties, and we can start working on the inside too. Start zip tying it all together and get it ran to the back seat area. Okay, now we got all this mess. Let's figure this out. All right, I'm gonna grab some zip ties so we can start zip tying it and keep it clean. And then I could put a screw in and put cable clamps, but I don't know. Once I put the carpet in, it's gonna hold it. A little bit of glue is gonna hold it. Welcome back. All right, I think it's about time to get more zip ties too. I used to drive one of my friends nuts because I'd never cut the zip ties on his jobs. And he would return the favor that anything he did for me, he cut the zip ties but just left them laying everywhere. Now we also have to run some speaker wires up here too. Speaker wires stay inside the car. They don't need to go underneath the hood. Speaker wires I might run up the center because they're going to go up over into a speaker pod right here and right there. I think build a little plate that comes from here to here. And put the speaker up there. A little 4.5 or 5 inch. I think that would be plenty of noise inside a little Volkswagen. That's what I would do, at least. I gotta ask my buddy what he wants to do. A lot of people put them in the doors, and I just, I can't stand it. The sound doesn't travel well. Well, the RCAs are much longer than the remote wire. So, all that's extra. All right, so we could throw that there. I wanted to get this down because then we can work with it when we glue the carpeting in. Not have to try to tear it up and figure it out afterwards. All right. Now I'm going to zip tie underneath, and then I'll come back and we'll trim all the zip ties. Make them happy. All right, so we're going to run speaker wire, and I'm going to go just right on the transmission hump here. I'll pull off so much that I think so I can double it up. Let's see where that gets us. So I need to go about like that. If he wants to go into the door, then he can figure that out later. But that's enough to get to that speaker easy. All right, that wasn't enough, so that'll be plenty. Then I got to run speaker wire to the rear speakers, which I guess it just goes under one carpeting. I mean, it's in the back seat area. It could almost be run outside the carpeting, but and then I don't know, he was talking about a bass box, basically. I don't know what they're called. It's where they have the amplifier kind of built into it. So I'm just electrical taping instead of zip tying. Trying to get it to lay flat. But I think the carpet up here will hide it pretty easy. Where? I'm still. Where'd it go? What? Are you kidding me? Alright. Alright, camera guy is fired. I'm sorry, guys. We were filming and I don't have any more footage. I think I went up, got something, came back and forgot to turn on the camera again, or maybe I deleted the footage, or I'm sorry. Terrible. Good news is the carpet video does show what I did to finish off this video. It wasn't much. I put down basically masking tape, not masking, ducting tape, or probably the big ape tape. I put some of that on to hold it where it was, so that way when we put the carpet on, it held it so it didn't fall down and get inside the channel down low. I was a little bit worried about that. So I just taped it up, and that basically does it. I mean, we taped it all around the back section and the front, so we ran all the speaker wire and got that all done. I'm sorry it's not there, but it is on the other video, so now go watch that one. I really want to thank you guys for watching. I'm a newbie at this. This is like my third or fourth video. Normally I did vlogs and I just hit record and just you guys had to sit through the whole entire nightmare. So this way it's on and off, so I gotta remember it's on and off. But well, thanks for watching. Once again, I'm sorry. Terrible, man. Terrible cameraman. Terrible, terrible, terrible. If I was a dog, they would have put a cone of shame on me.